My mate Neil and I have been trekking over mountains together, mostly around the Brecons in South Wales, for almost 20 years. We've done loads of trips, and as I mentioned in a video last summer, we almost always start our trip with an evening pint and a meal at the Skirrod Inn, just north of Abergavenny. Welcome to another Linleys video. This 900-year-old pub has hardly changed in the last 20 years. Neil and I love its character, the lovely food it offers, and the ales on tap. Our choice is a pint of Butty Bach and a plate of fish and chips for both of us this evening. But we can't stop here for too long as we don't have much spare time to get to the YHA, which I've booked for 2 nights this weekend. It's a short drive, about 40 minutes to Aber village and on to the dam of the Talybont Reservoir. Over the dam we get to the Dannywanelt YHA, which will be our base for the weekend. Usually we have to share a bunk room, but with the ongoing restrictions we've got the room to ourselves. It has cost a little bit more, but never mind. Neil has given me a present, a wooden train whistle. Breakfasts at YHAs are usually good feasts with a full English fry-up and cereal on offer at very good prices, but with the restrictions this has been cut back to being a good but basic sausage or bacon roll and coffee. Checking the route over, we consider the options and agree a route to Cribyn, which is our target for today. We've traipsed over Penifan, Cribyn and Fannybig many times, but we haven't approached the mountain range from the east before. Today, that'll change. From the youth hostel, the route begins by crossing the dam.
Tents are coming up, we're not talking about now, we just...
This is Wales. It usually rains in Wales, but today the weather is warm and calm. Talybont water is like a mill pond. The colours are stunning. We should have a great day out on the hills today. A casual glance around the water, the dam and the valley below won't shout out about hydroelectricity, but there is a power station here. Since 2006, there's been a 36 kilowatt hydroelectric turbine power station running, producing enough power to partly supply the local community. There used to be an old hydro unit back in the 1930s, but that failed decades ago and was left disused until the new system was installed. From the western side of the dam, Neil and I took the farm track off the road and then found the beginning of the footpath to begin our ascent up to Twin Dhu, the first piece of high ground for the day. This section here is easy going, although already quite steep. However, as we gained height, the vegetation became quite dense, and I think we're off the main path a little.
Oh, I love it. It's a good to be out.
Yeah, it's not.
Wonder what that peak is over there. Have to look at the map.
The high ground ahead is not fanny big, that's behind, and not quite as high. The round cairn here is on the crest called Cairn Pica, named on the 1 to 25,000 scale OS maps, but not the 1 to 50. The track follows the edge of the high ground and the views north over the valley, and once it comes into view, Fanny Big are fabulous. We passed several groups completing their Gold DFE challenge. This group of lads were dressed up in Hawaiian shirts as their fun theme for today. They were all in good spirits, although I think quite tired, as this was their last day out on the mountains. The broad flat ground just south of Fanny Big, before the final climb up to the summit, is quite boggy, and around the edge of one of the shallow puddles there's a lot of cotton grass this year. Neil and I did the usual photo shoot on the well-known rock on Fanny Big. We stopped for a snack and more water and pondered the idea of going on to Cribyn, but decided since we had enough time to crack on.
Yep.
Cribyn is my favourite summit in the Brecons. The final approach is interesting. The top is right on the edge of the ridge at the point where the path changes angle at about 90 degrees. And in clear skies the views are wonderful, looking north over the valley and across to Pennyfan and Fanny Big. I love it and I'm really pleased to be here yet again. But we can't stay here for too long as we have our return route to complete and the crash site monument to visit on the way as well. Back down the way we walked up to start with, we retraced our steps.
Dog on liver and car. You've never seen nothing like it, have you?
There was no need to return to the summit of Fanny Big, so from the saddle just here, where the old Roman road cuts north and south, we took the bypass path, which cuts southeasterly, gaining height steadily to pick up the ridge path further on just past Fanny Big. Back around the rim path just above the crags, once again we kept an eye on the fantastic views over our left shoulder, looking at Fanny Big in the near distance and the line of Cribyn and Pennyfan behind. The views today are the best that I've seen from this path ever, I'm sure, and I've been along here so many times in the past. Neil and I took a slightly cross-country direct line to the crash site monument. It's easy to spot in the distance, and I just kept to a steady bearing towards it, avoiding the gullies, boggy bits and bad ground as needed. The monument is a simple structure, but marks the location where a Wellington Bomber crashed into the mountainside in July 1942. All 5 of the crew perished, and their names are recorded on the plaque on the monument. The 2 piles of debris, plane parts collected together, is all that remains of the massive plane. From the monument, we took the direct route up the steepy, craggy ground to pick up the planned route back. To make a change to our outward route, we're returning along a slightly more southerly ridge down to the reservoir. Picking the peak of Alt Lwyd as a target next, we continued on with the views of the reservoir steadily getting larger in front of us. A key navigational marker is the corner of the woodland as the path follows the northern fence line of trees. The rest was easy, although we were by now quite low on water and had hot, tired feet. A few minutes walk along the road and back over the dam got us back to the YHA. I use a map for navigation. I'm a bit old-fashioned like that, but I also use a GPS unit for backup location checking. Sometimes I record my tracks on my phone as well. After a quick shower and a change of clothes, we're off in the car to the nearby pub for a meal and a pint. This was a most enjoyable day, and we were very lucky with the weather. Neil, thanks mate, for a great day out. Hey, if you have enjoyed this video, how about a thumbs up like? And if you haven't subscribed, you could do that too. Thanks for watching and bye for now.